My complex fan dipole is now ready for me to work on 6 amateur radio bands 40, 30, 20, 15, 10 and 6 meter. Initially the fan dipole had elements for 40, 20 and 10 meter bands. Later I added a couple of 122 microhenries loading coils to the 20 meter elements and extended the elements a bit beyond the loading coils. In its current configuration, it has 4.5 meter of wire beyond the initial 5 meter wire for the 20 meter elements. The aim was to make it work on 80 meter band, but somehow it has failed to work on 80 meter. But as a consolation prize, I have been given the 30 meter band. Most probable reason why it has not worked on 80 meter band is because of low mounting, much below the ideal 20 meter height for an 80 meter antenna. Anyway, I am happy about third harmonic resonances of the antenna, which gives me tunable SWR on 6 bands from 40 to 6 meter. In addition, it has SWR near 5 on 12 meter band, which might become tunable if I get an antenna tuner with higher range. The auto tuner in my FT710 radio covers only up to an SWR of 3:1. Here is the current configuration of the complex fan dipole. 40 meter elements have 10 meter wire on either sides. 20 meter elements have 5 meter wire on either side. After adding the loading coils to bring back resonance to 20 meter, I had to fold back and tie together 24 centimeter of wire as shown in the previous picture. In effect, there will be 3 layers of wire for the 12 centimeter preceding the loading coils on either side. Extension segments on both sides beyond the coil are 4.5 meter long. Now it is a symmetric center-fed loaded coil dipole antenna mounted in inverted V fashion. 10 meter elements have 2.5 meter of wire on both sides. All the 3 sets of elements have a common feed point connected to a 1:1 current balance. Coaxial feed line is a 15 meter long RG213 cable. This is the nano VNA tracing showing an SWR dip at 10.2 MHz just above the 30 meter amateur radio band. That was tunable in my FT710 radio for the 30 meter band. Next we see 2 dips in SWR, one just above the 40 meter band and another just below it. Together the SWR over the entire 40 meter amateur radio band is tunable with auto tuner. Here is the SWR dip on 80 meter band which I had aimed at while adding the loading coils. Unfortunately, it is at 3.8 MHz above the VU band and with an SWR of 2.963. That makes it untunable between 3.5 to 3.7 MHz, the VU amateur radio band. I have placed an order for an automatic antenna tuner of November Delta 9 Delta Delta Charlie design. I expect to get it next week or so, and maybe then I'll be able to use this complex antenna for 80 meter as well. Alternatively, I could lengthen the wire beyond the coils and bring down the resonance to the VU amateur radio band. Then most likely I will lose access to the 30 meter band. Moreover, in the current mounting location, I do not have space to lengthen the loaded coil elements to both sides. It would also add another set of joints to those antenna elements. For completion's sake, I'll go through the SWR pattern on other bands as well. This is the nano VNA tracing showing SWR dip near 17 meter band, not tunable in my radio. Here is the SWR dip near 20 meter band, that was tunable with auto tuner on 20 meter amateur radio band. SWR dip near 15 meter band made it tunable with auto tuner as before. There is an SWR dip near the 12 meter band as well, not tunable with auto tuner in the radio. SWR dip in 10 meter band is perfectly tunable with the built-in auto tuner in FT710. I did not check nano VNA tracing on 6 meter as I had not calibrated the nano VNA to that range. Instead, I checked SWR in my FT710 radio and it was in the tunable range for 6 meter as well. But I am yet to hear any station on 6 meter, the so-called magic band. That may be because of lack of propagation or because of poor antenna gain on 6 meter. Earlier I had tried dedicated wire dipole for 6 meter. At that time, I could not hear even my local VU ham at a distance of 10 km. Hence, 6 meter is an elusive band for me so far.